Hello everybody, and welcome to the Visual Basic 2013 course. And actually this video we're not going to talk about how to create application. We are just going to give an introduction about the Visual Basic and how we would start a project, and we are going to talk about some options that we are going to use in this course. Of course, you should notice that this course is not an advanced, it's a beginner's course only, which means that you are going to take the first step into Visual Basic, and you are going to learn how to create applications also. It's not going to take you to the very complicated, applications, not to the very complicated or complex formulas. It's just going to give you an introduction where you can enjoy creating applications, learn how to create some applications, and maybe create your own applications that you want to use. And by the end of the course, I'm gonna show you some applications that I created where I actually use sometimes, I still use. I can create also, like for example, my own calculator, because maybe I don't like the calculator that I'm using in Windows. So for the meantime, if you open the Visual Studio 2013, which looks like exactly the same as Visual Studio 2012, exactly. The difference is only about 10%. It's just some improvements has been added to Visual Basic 2012 to turn it into 2013. So what are we going to start talking about now is how do we open a new project for Visual Basic 2013. It is very simple. When you open Visual Basic, you will see this introductory page. All what you have to do is to click on a new project over here. And what we are going to learn is not C#, is not C++, is not F#, etc. We are going to learn Visual Basic. So we need to click on Visual Basic. And we are going to choose Windows Forms applications. Some people love to create some applications using the console application, but the Windows Forms applications is way friendly, familiar, and easier to learn than the console application. Some people would find that console application is a bit harder to learn. And make sure that you guys have .NET Framework 4.5 or 4 at least. Some people, like here I have additional one which is 4.5.1, is not necessary. We are going to work on 4.5. So before starting, we have to click on Visual Basic and one click here also on Windows Forms applications, and then we need to rename. So let's for the first time I'm not gonna name anything because we're not gonna create any application, so let's just leave it the way it is, and we click OK. Now we have this small box over here. What is this box? So this box called form, and this form, inside this form we will be able to create any buttons, text, anything you would like to adjust inside this button, and then we will make it as an application. So basically this interface over here you see is your application. So I'm gonna just make it a bit bigger. So this is actually your application, and we have something here called toolbox, which is the tools that we are going to use. Some people do not have it like that, so all what you have to do is click on view, and then you will find this toolbox. Just press on it and the toolbox will appear over here. Some people would like to move it to another place. It's totally up to you. We have the output over here, which means that if there's something wrong with the application, if there's any error, the output will show us what we can do. The output basically is giving us the result of running our application or editing our application. So here we are going to see the messages, maybe next video. And then we have the Solution Explorer here, which means that what we are working on. We are working on our Windows application 1. We did not rename it. we are here on the form 1. Why we are on the form 1, or let's say why this is being here, because we can add more than form. We can work on couple or 3 forms in the same time, so we will be able to change from form to form. And if you click one click only on that form, you will have to go then to property tab here, which will allow you to adjust everything about this form. Of course, video by video or day by day, we are going to get into these things, so you would be able to know what is this and what they are going to help us with. And yeah, so here for the meantime, nothing special. We have some navigations, some saving options, undo, redo, and then we have the start button here, which is going to be the debug, our debug. And as a shortcut, we are going to use F5 as a button. So the F5 actually is going to run the application. As you can see here, I have pressed F5 and now I am on this application. Once I close it, I go back to my Visual Basic. So F5 is going to run the application, so we are going to use this button very often. And then yeah, other things that we are going to learn also video by video. So for the meantime, just prepare your Visual Basic, or let's say Visual Studio 2013. It is absolutely free of charge. You can download it directly. I am going to show you how you can download this Visual Studio 2013 free of charge using the internet, and it's absolutely legal. So in this case, just prepare everything. All what we need is maybe pen and paper in this Visual Studio, and your computer is ready, so you would have some examples. We will try to create applications, me and you, and I'm going to give a couple examples how we would create an application, and I'm going to ask you as a task to create an application, so maybe you would be able to make some applications for me. Thank you in advance. So yeah, this is all about the first video, and now we are going to continue and we're going to start creating applications within the next videos.